Spectro is a family-owned company, and I think as a family-owned company, you always think ahead. You're not working on today or tomorrow, but in years or perhaps generations. We already see a lot of things like shortages of raw materials in our industry, and still there is a lot of spilling. And for us, that's it's just we cannot understand. And we believe that we truly need to do something about it. And that's why we have a quite extensive CSR program. Our company slogan is Next Generation Cleaning Solutions. EcoDOS is our concept for ecological cleaning agents and dosage systems. We believe that the combination is very important, that on one side we have highly concentrated ecological cleaning agents based on renewable ingredients, a good biodegradability, a European Ecolabel certification and so on, but also to look closely at the use of our products. And especially when you are talking about high concentrated products and you give it to cleaning personnel, they often use it wrong, they overdose, and then in the end you still have unnecessary environmental impact, unnecessary costs, and also less result. This is part of our filling process. We do everything in-house, also the filling. So we have several filling lines where we do the filling, labeling, putting caps on the bottles and so on, especially for the more traditional products. Here you see another filling line. At the moment we are filling an interesting packaging, which is one of the newest we have, made of 100% recycled plastic. In this case filled with hand soap. We had several reasons why we wanted to integrate data. First of all, we wanted to improve hygiene. So we see a lot that customers are not using the products correctly or not, for example, disinfecting enough, or are just not using the products, and so on and so on. Well, we are a company over 30 years old, very good in making cleaning agents. However, we were just making 2 or 3 years now dosage systems by ourselves. So that's very new for us, all these technique, electronics, data and so on. Like I said in the beginning, we have quite a big concern around sustainability, thinking of all the impact we have as a company on the future. And I think social responsibility is also something you need to think of. And that's why we joined the project, to also have a closer look at what can we do around these issues. Talking about the main ethical issues we faced during the Prisma project was quite interesting. So a lot of our products go to healthcare and food industry, and what came out was that the data that we generate can be connected to the results regarding hygiene. So for example, with our data, we can see that someone has cleaned and disinfected somewhere, or didn't clean or disinfect, because those are, I think, more interesting. And there came an ethical issue where we said, okay, if we see, for example, an increase in illness or even fatalities, what are we going to do as a company? We can demonstrate with the data that something went wrong. So that was quite an eye-opener for us. There are these issues, and we found it out that we as a company or as a supplier got valuable data, but it is data about the use of our customers. And we didn't want any ethical questions about it, so the things we did was share the data with our customers, make it open for them to see it also. So, for example, we use an app to read out and adjust the dosage equipment. Made this app also available for the end users, where they can see their own data. And this way, we want to prevent the ethical question of us as a supplier being responsible for the data, but also making our customers, our users, let's say, a co-owner of the data. So this is our app. This is our Equidos app. And what we can do here is read out our dispensers, our dosage equipment. So we can see how many washings have they done, how many washings with one cartridge, all the settings. But there is an interesting new part of our app. That's where we have the data also available for the end users.
Okay.
That was one of the things we learned from the project, is that we need to share our data.
Okay.
And therefore also make the customer a little bit more responsible with the data. So that's an interesting part.
You can see in the app when the last washing was.
For example, last washing, when did they place a new cartridge, when was it empty, did it give an alarm or some kind of false mistake. So that's all within our app.
Nice.
Privacy is an interesting subject, and to be honest, for us, and I think it's for every industry, it's still very difficult. But with our dosage equipment, we don't register personal data, and I think that makes it a little bit easier and also preventing issues around privacy. However, our systems are getting more intelligent, are registering more and more data, and definitely privacy is something we need to keep in mind and prevent also ethical questions around privacy issues. Our main stakeholders are, of course, our customers. We are into the business-to-business market, which means you are doing business with professionals. However, we also have other stakeholders that are very interesting, especially talking about ethical and social responsibility. For example, inspections. We try to believe to be a sustainable company or do as much as possible within our possibilities. What's interesting, what came out of the project is, again, that we think of issues that our customers and our stakeholders don't think of. And that's also a bit, I think, of an alarming issue, because should we as a supplier be the ones that make them more aware? I think we should, but that's not the easy side of your part within these questions. However, I think that it's just a matter of time. Another interesting thing that came actually later, after we finished the project, we were talking with a Ministry of Defense here, and they were very interested in our systems. They have issues with products disappearing, cleaning agents disappearing, and they want to do something about it. They want to be more sustainable and so on. So we started talking about data also, because that's what our dosage systems do. And then there came an interesting ethical question from their side, and that was actually the first time that I heard a customer, or in this case perhaps a future customer, talking about these issues, because they are also having issues with data. It was, I think, earlier this year with sport apps, where the apps were registering data and even making it public about where are soldiers and so on. So that was an interesting thing that came directly out of the project, and we were able to discuss about. I think a good example of slowly evolving and these ethical questions that come out of our businesses. As a company, you always think ahead, you always try to think in business solutions, which is very good. You are very creative. Well, that's what we always try to be. But I think an important aspect is that you also think closer about, okay, but what will be the other impact also from the things we are developing? And that's something we learned. The big benefit is it gives you a direct extra dimension in your development process. So it helps you looking also at other things you've never looked before. But also, like I said before, that we expect there are coming issues in the future. And well, with the use of the Prisma project, you can try to prevent these issues in the future or predict them more. So I think those are big benefits. Talking about a drawback, or it could be that it can make your development process a little bit more complex. The things we immediately found out that it was quite difficult to get good feedback from stakeholders. But what we also found out that if you are going to if you are going to talk with stakeholders or experts from other industries, then it's a lot easier. So that's, I think, one of the biggest advice I want to give is talk with people that are not within your industry. Talk about these ethical issues. I think then solutions will also come and opportunities will also come. But you must think about it. Also try not to limit your development process and your creativity, but also try to give it also a positive flow. In the end, there will always be a solution. After finishing the Prisma project, we immediately changed some things within our products and our concepts. So that's something directly visible. That's something we are also proud of, and I hope also the Prisma project is proud of. And I think the other big change is that we try to look a little bit closer also at these aspects within our development process. It definitely changed our vision on development, and that's something I highly recommend also to other companies who are doing things around sustainability and their impact on the future.